So if you guys have been following this channel, you'll know that the Indiana Fever are absolutely screwed. They are completely screwed. Like, there's a lot of things wrong with the Indiana Fever. Obviously, Temi Fagbenle just went down injured. Nalissa Smith, who was the number 2 pick in the draft 2 years ago, averaged 15 points a game last year, has been almost frozen out of the team by the coach. And it's gotten to the stage where her mom and brother are liking tweets, basically doing everything they can to like as many tweets as possible to get Christy Sides fired. And even Nalissa Smith herself is liking anti-Christy Sides tweets. You've got Caitlin Clark, who is being told, you know what, we're going to send you right we're going to run every single set having you going right, despite the fact you're better going left. And Wallace still plays. Yeah. Team's a disaster. And with Fagbenle out, Nalissa Smith, who's on a one-woman mission, that's not even one, it's her whole family, mission to get the coach fired, is now going to have to play 40 minutes a game because they don't have a backup. It's bad. It's real bad. Before we get on to the main part of the video, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. A huge thank you guys for 4,000 subscribers. Hitting that is crazy, and we are honestly not that far off 5K, which has been an unbelievable goal considering how new this channel is. Anyway, now let's get on to the video. So when it comes to the Fever, they're in a situation where they have no backup power forward. They have no backup center. Their backup center is injured and is probably going to be injured for quite a lot of the season. The person that they brought in as a backup center. Then they've got like Saxton as their backup center power forward, who averaged 1 point a game last year. Averaged like 5 points a game in college. And is not good enough to really make any sort of an impact at WNBA level. And then they also just don't have any forwards. They've got Aaliyah Boston, who's been in foul trouble. They've got Nalissa Smith. And when Nalissa Smith and Aaliyah Boston are not on the floor, their next tallest player in the rotation is Samuelson, who is a wing, if not a guard. They might be playing Lexi Hall at power forward soon. They might be playing Caitlin Clark at power forward soon. Obviously not like in the thing of the game, but like she could be the second tallest player on the floor soon. But they've just got nothing. They've got nothing, and they're going to continue to struggle on both ends of the floor. So I'm thinking, why not at least make some money? Why not at least make some money by bringing Czinano in? I think she'll be fine. Like Kate Martin, they didn't think she was going to be good enough to be drafted. She's been one of the best glue guys in the league. She might win 6th Woman of the Year. She's been the steal of the draft. Why not bring in Czinano? I know she got cut from the Sparks, but you're in no position to turn anybody down right now. Like, why not bring her in? She at least knows how to catch Caitlin Clark's passes. Caitlin Clark knows where she's going to roll. Can her and Aaliyah Boston be on the floor at the same time? Probably not. But can her and Nalissa Smith be on the floor at the same time? Sure. At the end of the day, you just need to rotate the three of them. Like, you can play Boston and Smith at the same time. Heck, you can probably play Smith at the 5 for a few minutes. But they need something. Because Fagbenle's out for 3 weeks and she could be out for longer. He's being reevaluated in 3 weeks. I mean, she's out for longer in 3 weeks. If anyone knows the way that is, she's going to be out for longer than 3 weeks. So, they need to bring in somebody. And look, why not bring in somebody that will at least know how to play with your point guard who you're trying to build around? In fairness to Christy Sides, like, she is kind of building a system around Caitlin Clark, which is why she is just frozen out on Nalissa Smith. And then right after she basically told her, I don't see a spot for you in the team anymore, the person who she replaced her with is now injured. But there's definitely a spot in the team for Wheeler and Wallace, you know. But hopefully I'll go with Erica Wheeler as well, by the way. Just purely basketball reasons. Either way, like, it doesn't, like, she was at the Aces game yesterday. She's available. Like, there's no reason to not at least consider it. There's no reason to not consider it because they're screwed. They're absolutely screwed. They've got nothing. Like, they've got a whole bunch of guards that she doesn't want to play. And then as far as their post players go, when Boston's out, they've got no center. Like, Nalissa Smith is closer to a small forward than she's a center. And she's suddenly, like, now going to have to be their backup center. And when she's playing center, and when inevitably Aaliyah Boston gets into foul trouble because Christy Sides won't get on the referees for all the soft fouls they're calling on Boston, inevitably, just like every game, she's going to get soft fouls called on her because her coach refuses to defend her. They're screwed. Like, just why not bring in Czinano? She's there. She's in the country. She's probably not on one of those deals where she can't go to the WNBA. Why not just bring her in? She'll at least you can make some money because her first game will sell out because everybody watched her play with Caitlin Clark. Like, at least that's something. It's worth more than playing someone you know is not good enough. Why not at least give it a chance? Why not bring her in? Like, at this stage, why not? Like, is it the greatest idea in the world? No, but like, why not at this stage? Honestly, why not? That's the only thing I can say is why not? And then, like, looking at other positions that they're struggling in, like, they're not really struggling for guards because Grace Berger can play. Grace Berger can play, and she's going to have to play more. As reluctant as Christy Sides is to put her on the floor because I don't know why. She can score and shoot, and you know what? She shoots the long twos that Christy Sides likes, but I just don't know why she's not playing. You've also got Taylor, who can actually play defense on a team where none of them can play defense. Like, Aaliyah Boston's not a bad interior defender, but other than Aaliyah Boston, none of them can play defense. Caitlin Clark is good at getting her hands in the lane. She's good with weak side help. She's a good enough help defender. She's very like a Steph Curry on defense, that she can get steals. She can be and because of her size, like, she's the equivalent of being like a 6'6" point guard in the NBA. She can get weak side blocks. Like, you saw 3 of them in the last game. She's relatively athletic. She's a terrible one-on-one defender. She's terrible fighting through screens. Like, it's not the end of the world, but they gotta, like, Sides gotta stop putting her on players that are gonna run her off screens. But other than that, like, other than Boston, none of them really play defense. Like, even Smith's not a great defender, but none of them play defense. But they've Taylor sitting on the bench who plays defense. But yeah, I'm like trying to think. Okay, like, they need to pick up somebody because they can't. Like, they've got 9 healthy players right now, and 3 of those 9, Coach Sides doesn't want to play. So yeah, it's not a good situation for Indiana. Like, why not take Czinano? Why not? Heck, see if you can. I don't know what way her Besiktas contract is, but see if you can go and get Holly Winterburn. Holly Winterburn is as good as, like, she was the best player on London Lions, and London Lions had like 4 WNBA players. Like, just why not? Why not just see if you can get Holly Winterburn? Like, Holly Winterburn's someone I've been following for the best part of a decade after her England team, and she was the standout. They lost in they lost group stage, but they didn't make it to the finals, 18s and 20s to Ireland. The Irish team led by Claire Melia, Dana Finn, and Breanna Stewart and Sue. Best Irish national team ever, to be fair. But like, she's exceptional. Like, why not? Why not? If you're not going to play any of your players, why not try find someone that's not in the WNBA? And for all the people saying that Liz Kage is the answer, I'm going to make a video explaining why Liz Kage is not the answer. Even though, yes, Liz Kage is by far the best center not playing in the WNBA, but there's a reason she's not playing in the WNBA. You can't do what Liz Kage has done. You can't. There's no going back from what Liz Kage has done. Like, there is a whole thing where it's like, okay, yeah, if they're good enough, it doesn't matter how bad of a person they are. I'm not gonna lie, if somebody in the NBA effectively started a brawl with the Nigerian national team for racially abusing them, they would probably be kicked out of the NBA. And like, that's just one of the many things on the long list of reasons why Liz Kage is not in the WNBA. But yeah, like, honestly, if Liz Kage didn't have all the other baggage, she'd be maybe the GOAT, but she's not, and she's definitely not the answer. But Czinano, probably not the answer, but it can't be worse than it is right now. It's the only way I can look at Czinano, being like, she can't be worse than what they currently have.